Hey TCS viewers, Chris Nichols here from the Camera Store. We have a special one for you today. We have the insanely talented Noah Fallis here with us. Now Noah, you started off as a stills photographer, but now you've branched out into, of course, the very lucrative video business, eh?
Yes, video is one of those things I think a lot of photographers are very hesitant to get into because it seems like a totally different world. And the thing is, it's not actually all that different than stills. You just have to start figuring out where you need to put the cameras, and there's movement involved, but actually it's quite exciting for those photographers who get to a point where you're kind of like, I need another challenge. Video is amazing for that, and you can offer all sorts of things besides just shooting stills, which is handy in these economic times.
Absolutely. And of course, Levi Holwell, you guys all recognize, and Levi, we've got all commonality going on because Levi worked with us and shot with us, and now he works and shoots with you too.
Yes, right? He does. Yes.
So what we're going to do, Levi only has about 350 women trying to get with him right now, so we're going to enhance that. We're going to actually make a dating video for Levi Holwell, because you need it, buddy. And it actually worked really well for one of our other coworkers, and now he's practically married. So, you know, one success story, we're going to try to make that 2 success stories. Now, for Levi's shoot, Noah, we've got some fun lights to try out, right? What do you normally play with?
Normally I play with HMIs. Amazing, versatile lights.
Absolutely.
If you're shooting video and you're shooting some stills on top of that, now some of the technology, we can shoot at high ISOs for the stills, capture that at the same time we're capturing video. But today we've got some interesting ones with these new Hive lights.
Plasma-based, yeah.
Plasma-based, which is like, you know, Stephen Hawking's from the future light. So we're gonna see how that goes.
Very cool.
And test it against the HMIs.
Should be fun, let's go do it. All right, Noah, so right now we are under a Joker 400 HMI with a little bit of a beamer on there to soften things up. Now, what do you like about HMIs? I mean, what kind of strengths?
I love that they're daylight balanced.
Yeah.
You can bring them outside, you balance everything out really, really quick. They do have a wonderful quality of light to them. It's nice and consistent.
Shadow looks great right now.
Yeah, and then we've got the little beamer on there, as you mentioned on there. So it's great. It's a very versatile light.
Gotcha.
In the sense that you can throw modifiers on them, but you have to make sure they're fireproof modifiers.
Yeah, I mean, that brings us to us. I mean, power draw is gonna be pretty heavy, right? And then what about modifiers? The heat, how do we deal with that?
Well, you have to get the specialized modifiers that are made for video at that intensity.
Yeah, you'll burn like the out of yourself on these things.
They will catch fire, and that's no fun. It's exciting on set, but no fun. So yeah, certainly the heat, the power draw. There's advantages, disadvantages. These ones being 400, great small location stuff. Boom, boom, bring out a couple little Jennies, and you're set.
You break out 800s, what happens?
The Jennies just shut down. That's it. Yeah.
Generators can't take it. Circuits blow inside small sets. Yeah, absolutely. You need to deal with that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, Noah, we're under this beautiful light now.
This is beautiful.
Absolutely. This is the Hive Wasp that we're shooting under right now. Now, this is a parabolic reflector style, but strong output. It goes right in between a 400 and 800 Joker for output. Really, really strong. And Hive's thinking is to make this replicate sunlight. So it actually has color tunable dials on the back to cover the gamut that the sun would do. And it even has a moonlight setting, this beautiful blue, like 12,000 K, like really, really nice.
Absolutely. Yeah, I do enjoy the fact that we can dial it at the back to change the color temperature. You don't necessarily slap gels in or anything like that. The disadvantage of that I found is that you can't click to lock into a very specific color temperature you need to, which is very important if you're shooting a lot of video work. You want to make sure that your color temperature is locked down.
Trying to get that consistency shot to shot, right? You'd have to put markings or something like that. Now, I mean, of course, one of the other beautiful things is we have a traditional softbox on here, and it's not catching on fire. I mean, the heat is way less on these things. Totally safe.
It's pretty, well, quite frankly, strange to have a light that's this intense, and you put your hand in front of it, and it's not, you know, catching fire.
Exactly.
Same thing. You can bring your photography gear with you to set, which cuts down the amount you have to bring, which if you're traveling, amazing.
Absolutely.
And you just throw it on there,
and
it looks beautiful. Now the thing is, we had to modify this.
Right.
This is the Wasp, and it throws light like crazy into a very, very tight beam, which can be useful for very specific applications, but in an application like this where you actually want to shoot something nice, you have to throw a big softbox on it. And it has a beautiful quality of light because it makes what I call a hard soft light, which is when you have a cone of light in the middle of your softbox, but then you have diffusion around the edges, which adds a sense of natural fill to your lighting.
Very cool. Now we also have the B over here, just doing a bit of fill. Now you tried that, you didn't like it as much. I mean, this is like a general purpose floodlight. Can't modify it as much, not as many lenses to play with.
Yeah, for me, I would rather have a light that throws because I have the option to throw the light far, or I can diffuse it.
Right.
Whereas this is a flood initially, and you can't necessarily change the quality of light all that much.
Fair enough.
It has its uses, most certainly it does, but the amount of output on that versus the amount of output on this is very, very different.
Absolutely. We should point another thing. You might think this light is really expensive, seeing how it's plasma and harnesses the power of the sun, yada, yada, yada. But actually, you're going to pay maybe 60% roughly of what you get on an HMI.
Absolutely.
So really, really economical.
Yeah, if you are looking to do a set and you need to invest in a bunch of lighting and you've got tens of thousands of dollars you need to spend, you need a lot more bang for your buck when you get something like this. What we're going to do quickly for lighting is we're going to make good use of our Wasp and its focused beam. So we're going to drop it down on the ground, and we can drop it on the ground because it's not going to singe the tile. So that's what we're going to do, and then we're going to have some crazy disco lights on either side. We're going to blow some smoke. We're going to have Levi, hunk of unbelievable manliness, walk through towards the ladies. I'm not worried about shooting slow-mo at all with this because you can shoot up to 4 million frames a second if you happen to have some crazy camera like that, and not worry about flicker at all. And that's why we're using some of the Hives for all our slow-mo.
Noah, why do you have me on my hands and knees right now?
Well, Chris, I'm glad you asked.
I want to know.
Because these lights are triggered by sound.
Oh, look at that.
Because we want to make sure that Levi, gorgeous, gorgeous man, is in full disco mode when we shoot this in slow-mo. We're gonna have to talk fast like this and make all sorts of crazy sounds.
You want me to talk at the light?
You're gonna have to talk at the light.
Like this, like this. Okay, I love Jordan, he's the best.
Boots and cats and
Oh, it
boots
works.
and cats and boots and cats.
Okay, go.
Unbelievable. Now we're gonna do our low-budget special effects fashion van for Levi. Let's do it. Okay. Keep your face loose. Keep it loose.
Okay. Huh. Wow, that's hard. Okay.
Mouth open a bit.
All right, now, so it's all well and good to talk about the quality of light, but there are other practical concerns too, and that's the size. Big difference here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're traveling with lights, it can be a real pain, especially if you've got multiple lights, if they are big. And unfortunately, these guys are pretty hefty. Not hefty in terms of movie scale, but in terms of smaller set scale,
Sure.
they're certainly much larger lights.
Now let's take a look at the ballast, because of course you got to take those with you as well. Now to be fair, this is the Joker 400 ballast. The Joker 800 is going to be larger, but still, this is big, right?
Yeah, again, if you've got a small set configuration where you're bringing 5 to 6 lights,
Right.
and you're traveling with them,
This is gonna
these
add
are
up.
going to add up.
Yeah.
Something like this, a little less. Now, to be fair, if you are going to be using a Joker 800 as an example, you're going to have to be bringing on some pretty big generators also if you're on location.
Right, or you're
So-
going to the rental house or whatever, it makes it tough to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point.
On the left, we've got the Hive Wasp, and it's a very focused beam of light with a little bit of banding. 260 watt draw, but that sucker can throw light for a long distance. You can see it's a lot more intense than what's on the right, which is our lovely Joker 400, taking 400 watts, but a nice soft throw. Seems a little bit warmer, maybe even a magenta cast to it. Still beautiful light. All right, so we're getting some luxurious shots of Levi on the couch right now. And we're fighting the light outside. It's actually just quite a cloudy day, but the windows themselves have sort of a warm tone to them. And because these lovely hives, we can just dial the color. So actually I just cranked it right over to 4800 Kelvin, and we sort of balanced the light and popped the softbox on it, no problem. Now we've got this lovely little pool of light on luxurious Levi.
I like to be just really precise about how long I, microwave my slices of pizza for, because you want to get that nice and stringy so that when you're eating it in slow motion, it's titillating.
All right, no, I think you did a very good job of making Levi desirable today. I think it's going to win. But as the artist today, you tried the Hive lights. I know you love using jokers for a lot of your stuff. What do you think now about the two?
Well, now that I've played them both in sort of a comparable scenario, I'm a big fan of the Hives.
Yeah, really.
The ability just to change the light color temperature, the ability to add modifiers quickly.
Yes.
That is huge. To go to a set and then, okay, we're going to strike that. And we go over here really quickly and then we set something else up. To me, it's an overall great light. To break them into two scenarios quickly.
Okay.
If I'm shooting with a red, I'll probably be using jokers.
Gotcha.
Because they're hotter, bigger, and you're going to have a bigger set with that.
A lot of crew to help you out, that kind of thing. Striking is not so hard. Okay, gotcha.
If I have a higher ISO capable camera, I would definitely be going with the plasmas.
Gotcha. Just easy to use, nice color, nice quality. Fantastic to know. All right, guys, so hopefully you had a lot of fun with that. We certainly did. We got a little bit crazy, of course, but don't forget, of course, the usual stuff. Check our Twitter feed, Instagram, subscribe to us. We'd appreciate that. But even more so, check out Noah Fallis' work. Go to his Instagram page, check out his website. Very talented. Thank you so much for being here today. We really appreciate having you.
Yeah, I really appreciate you having me.
It was a lot of fun.
Great time.
It was a lot of fun. We're going to do good for Levi. And most importantly, stay tuned because Levi's video is coming up next. It's going to be amazing. I mean, check him out, follow him, fall in love with him. I know you already have. All right. Thanks so much, guys. Always coming to you very soon. We'll see you soon.
I think that the best attribute I could bring to a relationship, it's hard to say because I don't have a lot of experience, don't have a lot of history, also don't have a lot of baggage. I guess that'd be +1. I'm just a neat ball of Play-Doh waiting for someone to get their hands on and see what I get turned into. Anything can happen. I think one thing I've realized from the outside is they're messy. It's a tornado of feelings. I don't know how I'm going to react, and I think that's dangerous but exciting. My perfect date would be just going to the movies or watching, actually, more specifically, probably watching a movie at my place. I love films more than anything. Hopefully if I get close with someone, I'll love them more than films, but that's doubtful. I'd say my greatest weakness in a relationship, there might be a couple more than I'd like to admit, I'm not perfect, but I think when it comes down to it, it's the age-old problem for a lot of people, jealousy. And I ask myself, where does that come from? Is it because I don't think much of myself, or am I just trying to convince myself so hard that I don't think so highly of myself that I end up believing that, and then that's where the jealousy comes from. But then it comes back to, what do I really think of myself? I think the problem might be that I overthink things, actually. What would I say my best physical attribute is? Abs. Shredded. Thanks so much for watching, guys. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm kind of anxious about, putting myself out there like this, but at this point, got nothing to lose, so I'm hoping that you liked what you saw, and we'll make a love connection. Fingers crossed.